The Denver Broncos have signed and promoted to the active roster the answer to fixing our offense. I'm going to break it all down in this video. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ben. I break down all things Denver sports, but because we're making a playoff run, we're leaning hard into the Broncos, so giddy up, let's ride. So diving in here, we see that Shawn Payton is a streak breaker. He has broken multiple streaks in just half of a season here. He broke our super long 8-year losing streak against the Kansas City Chiefs, and then just broke 17 years since we had won in Buffalo. And the streak I think we are all most excited for him to break is our years of missing the playoffs, which is at 7. We have not made the playoffs since Super Bowl 50. And another thing we have not done since Super Bowl 50 run was have a meaningful game at home. That all changes on Sunday night when we play the Minnesota Vikings. And as a lot of you have been mentioning in our comments, huge shout out for all the comments I get on the YouTube channel. I love reading those. Those are awesome. Joseph Archuleta echoes what a lot of people have been saying, is that they think for us to have a chance, we need to fix our offense. We need immediate improvement in our offense. And I agree. And I think we have the solution. Very new to this, but I think we really do have the solution. And so looking at just kind of Russel Wilson's pass chart, what do you notice about most of Russ's throws this year? I think first thing you'll notice is that he's under immense pressure. And I think that's for sure. And then the other thing is I think you see a lot of his touchdown passes, a lot of his completions, especially his deep balls, being outside the hashes here. And we have a couple notable examples right there, but I think for the most part, this is just from this game against Buffalo. What you notice is a lot of Russell Wilson's passes are outside of the hashes. And so what is the solution for that? Who is it that hangs out in this part of the field? And the answer to that is obviously a tight end. And we know that we remember Julius Thomas was Peyton Manning's favorite target, just like running streaks right up through here in the middle. And that's so hard for a defense to keep up with. Well, we had high hopes for Greg Dulcich, and he has flamed out mostly because of injuries. But the Denver Broncos last week, right before the Bills game, before any of us really had time to break him down, made a big change that I think is going to change that. And this is him right here. He looks a lot like me with my shirt off. I might take it off at the end of this video. Hang tight and you'll see. But we see here that we have a new tight end named Lucas Krull. And this dude is an absolute beast. He played tight end for the University of Pittsburgh, also the University of Florida. And what do you know about Florida tight ends? Like you got Kyle Pitts, Aaron Hernandez, the Florida Murders, and you have some beasts who can play tight end for both of those teams, Pittsburgh and Florida. So this guy, Lucas Krull, was a New Orleans Saint originally, and now another Saints player who Shawn Payton kept his eye on and scoops off, just like our kicker. And so we have this new guy, Lucas Krull, who was on our practice squad, who we promoted right before this Bills game. And what's kind of crazy about this is we promoted him right before the Bills game, and usually right when you come off practice squad, you don't get a lot of reps. But look at the number of reps that he got in his first game. He had 20 offensive snaps in his first game in a Monday Night Football game in a hostile environment. And I think that's a really, really good sign that, man, if he got that many snaps without barely having any reps with Russell Wilson, what's going to happen this week after an entire week of practice with Russ? And I think the Minnesota Vikings blitz like crazy. And the answer to the blitz, we don't have time to go outside the hashes a lot of times with the blitz. You got to hit dudes over the middle. And I think Lucas Krull, pick him up on your fantasy team. I did. And I think he'll be an easy waiver wire. And I think he could be a Julius Thomas. On the left here, I have Travis Kelce's 40-yard dash time and just his metrics from the combine. So notice here that Travis Kelce 6'5", and ran a 4.6, and this is going to blow you away. I know people just say it's different on a football field. Lucas Krull was faster than him and is taller than him. So you see Shawn Payton came out and said that he was just elated and excited by this speedster. And my face is covering it up there, but I'll read this for you. It says, he brings different elements. He's a guy that can run with speed vertically. He brings more of a receiving threat. We've been working with him the last several weeks. And then down here we see the Sports Illustrated comment, which is something I noticed watching live, was that we had Kroll streaking straight, like wide open, and Russ didn't see him, but I think the chemistry wasn't there quite yet. They hadn't even had a full week of practice. This was a guy, Russel Wilson, probably didn't even know his name last week, and now he's on our active roster. Now we've got a week of him practicing, and we're ready for him, and I think things are going to be absolutely awesome. You're not going to want to miss it. Broncos, we are going to beat the Vikings for our biggest home win since beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl run, the playoffs, and you're going to want to be along for the ride. Giddy up, Broncos country. We're making the playoffs, and let's ride.